But Christine Rubin is here, and I'd like her to come up and say a few words and give her the opportunity to talk.
You normally don't see me dressed like this, but I had breakfast this morning with Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, and great woman from Tennessee, great conservative congresswoman from Tennessee. Oh, I'm sorry.
We got camera.
Video, camera. I'm sorry. Okay. Hi, I'm not normally dressed like this. No. I came to the conclusion last week. I had an epiphany. I went up to Sacramento because I was speaking at the caucus lunch, and I just received the endorsement of Connie Conway, the caucus chair. Connie and I have known each other for years. And I just felt that air of arrogance in the hallways of the Democrats saying, you know, you are nothing. You are just less than the minority. And what actually ended up happening is I had planned my trip up there for about a week, and one of my opponents started chasing me up to Sacramento. And I got tired. I don't mean tired in a good way or a bad way, but I told iCaucus early on, when I decided to run for assembly, I kept saying, I'm thinking about running. And they said, thinking about running? A woman told me, that's like being a little bit pregnant. Either you are or you aren't. I said, well, you know what? I am. Not pregnant, there'd be 3 wise men and a mule. But I was running. So 9 months, I'm 9 months into this. And like any woman at 9 months, my feet are swollen and I'm cranky. And I said, why am I doing this? I am doing this because I am the right candidate at the right time with the right experience. I was a deputy secretary for one of the biggest agencies. And some people, I was in an endorsing meeting, and they said, oh, she was a secretary. She must have done clerical work. No, I developed communication for a $24 billion agency. And I worked with the legislature, seeing them kicking over laws that made no sense, kicking over laws that would enable them to become, run for their next office. And so I came home, I thought I was going to relax, and 2008 happened, 2009, Stephanie and I said, I've got to do something. So I came home and I said, you know what? My campaign is not a lesson in civics. I'm going to run to win. So I took my campaign out of the political campaign mode, and I put it into a military campaign model. Now, I'll tell you, Blue Star, I'm Navy wife, Blue Star mom. I had a reporter ask me just yesterday in an interview, oh, so you're not a veteran? I said, no. So you've never worn the uniform? And I said, I've never worn the uniform, but I've washed it. In that shift of a model, and this is the way my 2 opponents are campaigning. They both ran for their local city councils, and I think that's great. Because in the time that they ran in 2008 for their local city councils, being an incumbent was a good thing. Oops. Oh, what a difference 2 years makes. So now I've got 2 city councilmen who have their names attached to their relative cities. Okay. And that's all they think they need to do. They don't need to campaign. They don't need to come to iCaucus. They don't even know who you are.
No, they don't.
And they didn't want to come because they didn't think they needed it. Because they are running a campaign of ignorant voters. Okay, political campaign mistake number 2 in 2010. You might have gotten away with it in 2008, but not in 2010, because the voters are now informed. And this morning at breakfast, there was a great new mantra that says, we are the party of no. K-N-O-W. Know your candidates, know your issues, and know your Constitution.
Amen.
So I came home and I said, first and foremost, you cut off your opponent's ability to communicate. I bought out all their slates out from under them. Done. Triple their communication. Next to PSYOPs. All right. So, systematically going after them. And if they're speaking, guess who's in the room? And I continue to beat them at their own game because they're not campaigning. And lastly, I will stand toe-to-toe, and I will spend what it's going to take to win this. And believe it or not, it's not a lot of money in this seat. It's shockingly in political terms, a small amount of money. But what I lack in funding, I make up in passion, I make up in grassroots efforts. And it's not that I turn down anyone's volunteer or prayers, but I was at an event with Senator Norm Coleman, and he said, you know, we're all going to pray. I said, Senator Coleman, does Jesus have a PAC? Because I got a lot of prayers I need to cash in. Okay? If Jesus writes a check, I'll be really good about this. But it's about the prayers. It's about the effort. It's about the grassroots. It's about the small donations. I got $20 from a teacher in Encinitas that I've never met before. Somebody decided to invest in me that I've never met. And I'm going to take that investment and I take that contribution very seriously. And when I go up there and when I win, because this race, my race, is decided in 54 days. Wow. 54 days. It's not November. It's on June 8th.
Wow.
Yeah. June 8th. And the judges are also decided on June 8th. It's not November. It is now. That's why I'm cranky. Coming into the last few days. And 54 days, but who's counting? But I'm here to say I've got the passion, the experience. And someone actually said that I was a little too passionate.
No such thing.
And I said, well, they gave me a cup of coffee. See, I drink decaf. But I'm doing this not for myself, not for my own political gain, not to take the next step on the political ladder, but I'm doing it for Californians. I'm doing it for the future. I'm doing it for my sons. I'm doing it for my husband, who's currently a embedded IED analyst in Jalalabad, Afghanistan. Okay? He went halfway around the world to create a democracy. The least I can do is stay here, win this election, and save ours.
Yeah.
Thank you.